In this video, I'm going to show you how to write the cadence for ASP level 5. So first we start with figuring out the chord. So we are in the key of C major. My one chord is on the first note, which is C, E, G. My fourth chord is on the fourth note, which is F, F, A, C. And my fifth chord is on the fifth note, which is G, so I skip G, B, D. So I have my three chords. I have no sharps and no flats. So next thing we do, we put the bass notes where they belong to. So for the first chord, I'm going to put a C. For the fourth chord, I'm going to put the fourth note, which is F. For the one chord, we're going to use actually a second position of the C chord. That means that in my chord, G will be at the bottom. So that's a second inversion. So I'm going to put a G here. Then I'm going to go down all the way the octave jump and do another 5, which is now the root of our 5 chord. And then I will go back to 1 to finish my cadence. And this will be my bass notes. We're just going to fix quickly our chord progression labels so we know 1, 4, and 5 that belong to those notes. Now we're going to write the chords. My first chord, I'm looking here and I'm looking for the first chord here, is a C. So I'm going to write the root position, which will be C, E, G. The next thing that I'm going to do, I have to write the fourth chord. So I'm going to look at the fourth chord and the first chord and see which note is the same for my two chords. So I can see that C here and C there are the same notes. So that's why I'm going to write my C first here. And my other two notes that I have to write, so I have C, are F and A. So I will use the closest notes that come. So first comes F, and then comes A. And that's how I write my fourth chord. So I keep my C at the bottom in the same position. It stays at the bottom of the chord. The next chord we have to do is the C again, because I have one chord and one chord. Never mind, the bass is different. We still have the same C chord. So I'm going to just copy this chord, put it here. And since I'm doing that, I'm going to finish the last one because it's also one. So I'm going to just write C, E, G in those two measures. They're marked with 1. C, E, G. And I'm done with most of it. Now, next step, I'm looking at my G chord because my 5 chord is a G chord. And since I'm going from 1 to 5, I'm going to check if there is any note that is same, and I can find G and G are same. Therefore, I'm keeping G in the same position. So that was my G right here. I'm going to just put it right there. And because G was on the top, it has to stay right there on the top. My other two notes of the G chord are B and D. So I'm writing what comes first, D and then B. And that's how I have my full cadence already written in the root position. We're going to do the similar thing for the first inversion. So if I take my bass, here I have all my labels. I'm just going to copy my bass notes, C, F, G, G at the bottom, oops, and back to C. Now I need C major first inversion here. So that means I'm not starting on C, I'm going to be starting on E. So E, G, and then I have C on the top. And that's my first inversion. Since I have 1, 1, and 1, I'm just going to copy those chords right away, so I don't have to worry about those. And this is the last one. Okay. Now, if we go back and look at our chords between C, G, and FAC 1 and 4, my common chord note is C. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to put that C on the top, and it was on the top, so it has to stay on the top. So my other two notes are F and A, and I'm just going to put them as they come close to the chord. Now, going back to my chords, C, E, G, G, B, D, 1 and 5, what they have in common is G. So I'm going to keep my G down. So G is in the middle now. Oops, that was messed up. G is in the middle now. I'm going to put it right here. So because it was in the middle, I got to keep this note in the middle. That means I will have one note above, one note below. So the closest one above from the chord G, B, D, it's a B, and D will go at the bottom. And this is how I write my first inversion cadence. And now we're just going to do the second inversion, which is very similar. Bass will go the same way. The easy thing about this, bass is always the same. Now, second inversion of C will start on the G, G, C, E. That's my second inversion. Remember, the C was a common tone for F chords. I'm going to use C. Oh, that's now in the middle. That means I'm going to have one note below, one note above. So C can stay in the middle. We're going to go back to C again. And another C, I forgot to write those right away. So now between C and G chord, we have G that is same. So I'm going to transfer the G right here. And then the other two notes will be closest to what they come, as they come, G, B, and D. And I have my whole second inversion written down. So this is how we do the cadence, primary chord progression with all three positions, with the root position, first inversion, and second inversion. So I'm just gonna make it smaller, easy to see all of them at the same time.